All right, let's continue our journey on the rings. We cover vertical push and vertical pull. So we are in this position now. We start going to horizontal moves, and we're doing for today we're doing the push, the horizontal push. So let's bring those rings down. And so vertical push, we're talking about the famous push-ups. And here the adjustment, you can go pretty low if you want, or around your knee. It's a good measurement. All right, let me just put the second one down. All right, so how do we start our journey with horizontal push-ups here on the rings? As we covered before, don't go crazy. It's your first time doing this stuff. You're putting a lot of weight on your hands on the rings. If you overdo it over time, you just start getting pain in your elbows, pain in your hands and your wrists and your shoulders. No need for that. Remember, it's a journey. It's like brushing your teeth. You just want to continue doing it. All right, so a couple of things here when you start doing horizontal push, which is regulating the level of intensity. So when we were on the vertical part, we were using a band to help us with that. Now when we go horizontal, it's slightly different. The way that we have to regulate intensity is to move away from the anchor point. What does it mean, anchor point? So anchor is where I place my rings. So I'm placing my rings, in this case, in the pull-up bar. So that's the anchor point. So anything below the anchor point, it's going to be the hardest variation that you can do. To make it easier, you move away from the anchor point. So anything that I'm doing that my body is away from that, it's going to be the easiest progression. So let's start there. We're going to pick up our rings. We're going to move away from the anchor point. You're going to try to keep those glutes engaged, that lower back straight, and you're just going to do your push-up. You go down and up. So if you remember our vertical push, our dips on the rings, we're avoiding to have those thumbs in, right? We're going to do the same thing here. Try to get those rings as straight as you can, so thumbs pointing forward, and then you lower down and up and down and up. All right, so one thing that I want you guys to avoid is to terminate or do any of the exercises with your shoulders up, elevated. So let's do our best to have our shoulders down. If for some reason when you're doing your set, you see that this is happening, you need to regress. So you need to move away from the anchor point until you find that good shoulder position, and then up. If you think this is too easy, again, start moving your feet closer to that anchor point and doing your push-up. And so you notice that I rotate the rings out. That's just a habit that I have. Eventually, if you want to increase the difficulty of what you're doing for this push, you need to start going and conditioning your elbows and wrists and shoulders. And that's done by, again, rotating the rings out. You don't need to do that. Just keep those rings neutral, so thumbs pointing forward. I just have that bad habit. It's not bad, but not necessary at this level right now. So we go down, same thing here, and up. And don't forget to do slow. So a lot of questions, should I do fast, slow? That depends on what your goals are. If you want to target strength or hypertrophy, what type of muscle fibers you have. Again, we can just go on this rabbit hole. I don't think it's needed. Just keep it simple. Pick up the rings, do a couple, 3 to 5 reps every other day or whenever you train, and 3 sets, 4 sets. Some weeks you feel stronger, some weeks you feel weaker. It's totally fine. We all have jobs, we all have other stuff besides training. That affects your performance too. So just be kind with yourself, be kind with your body. It's better that you do less when you're not feeling good rather than overdo it. And then again, elbow pain, shoulder impingements, that's a reality when you overdo it, when you overdo things on the ring. So just be gentle. And then when you get to below the rings, so if you start getting very close to the anchor point and you're doing your reps with good form, that's great. Just increase the number of reps that you can do, and that's pretty much a good place to be. Any other place is good, but you can measure, you can see your progress as you keep getting closer to the anchor points. It's a very good way of measuring your progress over time. Thank you.